told you last night the ABC was stupid to commission racism experts to check it out after pampered star Stan Grant accused it of not defending him from racist abuse. Naturally, this report concluded the ABC was full of racism, and now the ABC bosses have to jump through amazing hoops. Here's how an interview with ABC Managing Director David Anderson started, with acknowledgements of country so long that I've actually had to cut out some of it.
Welcome, Jinjawala, in the language of my ancestors, the Bundjalung people of the far north coast of New South Wales. Thank you, Managing Director David Anderson, for joining us here on this really momentous occasion. It's really significant that we take the opportunity to step into this new space, as I would like to call it, that's been created today. In recognition of that, just acknowledging we're here today on Gadigal country, paying respects to elders past and present.
Joining me is Sophie Elsworth, media writer for The Australian. Sophie, you know, is that how every interview in the ABC is now going to start, with the guest and the host both having to give long welcomes and acknowledgements?
Well, it certainly shouldn't be, Andrew, but I don't know how on earth they get their work done when they're doing interviews like this and having to spend several minutes doing all the box ticking, doing acknowledgements of country, repeating what land they're on. This is where the ABC loses listeners and they lose the audience. And I think many people would see this as completely unnecessary. In that grab, and you've only played some of it, Andrew, they referenced the Indigenous lands multiple times. They were almost tripping over themselves with the amount of references they made. And I think it's problematic for the viewer. They tune out, Andrew, because they don't actually get to the point of what David Anderson was on there for, and that was to talk about the racism review itself.
Oh, I thought it was a bit of a flex as well, you know, lay a bit of a guilt trip on the managing director, put him on the back foot. I mean, the whole thing's a joke. I thought Chairman Kim Williams, he's not completely stupid. I thought he was going to crack under this nonsense. Here are some of his interview where he seems torn between calling the reporter beat up and saying how seriously he takes it, just in case anyone starts calling him racist as well.
I don't think anyone can read a report such as this and feel comfortable. We need to put that in perspective, Ali. It's 120 people in a staff, full-time and part-time, of 4,700.
Not sure what Kim Williams is trying to say there, that it's a beat up or that it's a big problem. What do you make of it?
Well, I think he was a bit torn there, Andrew, but let's just remind viewers, this report was commissioned in May last year. We are now in October. It took them 17 months to do this. Now, in any organisation, that seems an awfully long time. They seem to be dragging their heels on it. And then it's had all these damning findings. I mean, they're rolling out anti-racism training in the ABC now. They have so much bureaucracy in there. I do think, and from people I have spoken with in the ABC, at times it makes the job difficult to do because they have to meet so many requirements with stories, making sure they, you know, reference different cultures and genders. It makes their jobs, I would argue, quite difficult.
Well, would you want to be a manager having to tick off someone that identified as Aboriginal or a culturally diverse background?
Well, it just makes it complicated, Andrew. Rather than reporting the story and doing your job at hand, you're having to go through these hoops to tick certain boxes. And I think the ABC now has to, you know, go down the road of implementing these 15 recommendations. Some of them are quite detailed, so there's an awful lot of work ahead of them.
Oh, the penalty of being woke. And meanwhile, Anthony Albanese was wearing his ABC socks today in support of, I don't know quite what, maybe ABC racism, I don't know. Lovely to speak to you, Sophie. Thank you.